Thank you everybody for coming today. We're here today at the border of the Canadian Embassy to send a message to the Canadian government that it's time to end the lockout at the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation of 5,500 of its staff employees. End the lockout, achieve a fair agreement, and get back to producing some of the best journalism in North America on the CBC. That's why we're here today.
This is an issue of, do we still have meaningful careers where we work in this global economy? Or are we going to stand by while a public corporation, in this case, owned by the Canadian government, drives us to the bottom of the world economy? The question is, do we rise up based on meaningful careers, on quality journalism, on quality services, regardless of what work we do, or do we continue to go in a race to the bottom?
We really appreciate this.
Thank you very much, Linda, and thank you all for being here today, and I'm happy to join you, my brothers and sisters. As president of the AFL-CIO, I bring our brothers and sisters in the Canadian Newspaper Guild a message of support. The entire AFL-CIO is standing with you in this struggle. The 5,500 CBC workers we're supporting, as you know, have been locked out for a month. We know their families are suffering, but the fight they are fighting is worth it, and they are fighting it for all of us. The Canadian Broadcast Corporation may be part of the Canadian government, but it is acting like any giant multinational media conglomerate, trying to use its size and its resources to crush the hopes of workers for a better life. The issues these workers are fighting for are our own issues. More job security, the right to careers with a future, decent compensation, job training and development, and a life outside of work. So I'm happy to be here with you and to share our solidarity with the Canadian labor movement. The concerns that these workers have are the shared concerns of every worker in America, of every worker in the world. And that's why we're protesting today in Washington and London, in Moscow and Jerusalem, in Brussels and Tokyo, Seoul and Berlin, Paris and Sydney. Your fight is our fight. It is the fight of the Newspaper Guild, it is the fight of the CWA, and it is the fight of the Canadian Labour Congress and the AFL-CIO. And by standing together and fighting together, we will win together, and we will be with Canadian workers for as long as it takes. God bless them and the sacrifices they're making. Thank you all very much.
Hi.
I run the press office here.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
We're here on behalf of the workers at the CBC who've been locked out. And I'm Linda Foley. I'm president of the Newspaper Guild CWA. We're the parent union of the Canadian Media Guild that's locked out. This is Larry Cohn, who's president of the Communications.
I missed you guys. I was actually over there listening to you.
And John Sweeney, who's president of the AFL-CIO.
Hi, John. Nice to meet you.
And we have some letters that we would like you to pass out to Ambassador McKenna, if you will. I understand he's not available today, but we wanted to express our strong insistence that the Canadian government get the CBC management to do the right thing.
And the new chairman was named today by the government.
Yeah.
Fournier.
Fournier, yeah, right.
And, you know, we're hoping that the message goes to Fournier that we want to meet with him, and we want to work this out. It can be worked out. And, you know, as I said, this is a shame on the Canadian government. We depend on you in so many ways to be the liberal voice in the world. This is not the liberal voice saying we need every single job that we can grab at any time. And you heard the example, if you're over there, of your bureau here, where 33 out of 35 people are already contracted. So that's under the existing contract. How much more language do people need?
Okay. I've heard there's similar actions in other parts of the world.
All over the world.
Yes, there are. All over the world.
Brussels, London, Sydney, Berlin,
London,
Jerusalem, Moscow.
Moscow.
Right.
We want the Canadian government to be the liberal
We
force.
want to send a message that we're watching.
Here's my letter.
Around the world.
Right, I'll send you a letter.
All right.
So if you would please pass that on to the ambassador, we would.
And it's useful. We're happy to meet with him.
We're happy to meet with him.
This is the head of our entire labor movement.
I know.
12 million people.
Yeah, no, I know, absolutely.
Okay.
Very respected.
Yeah. And the idea that Canada is doing this ahead of even where the U.S. is, or behind even, to me, unbelievable. I mean, even for me as an American citizen, I always believed that human rights were valued more in Canada. It's a disgrace what's going on here. And now the Canadian government is doing even worse than we're doing here.
What is going on here?
Well, I'm talking in many different ways. Human rights.
In human rights, and we're talking about,
But on this issue, the issue of demanding that every single job be up for grabs all the time. We represent people at ABC, Disney, at GE, NBC, and these demands are worse. Some of them are here, actually, from those networks. Dan Mahoney's the assistant to the president of our TV people. Linda represents other TV people. But even the networks here, Fox, none of them have demanded that every single job be on a
none of them have locked, and they, and
nobody's locked out workers like
out the workers like
our members would have still been negotiating.
It's shameful. It's absolutely shameful.
But Fournier is a new voice. So
Absolutely, you think we'll get a response? I'll make sure it happens very quickly. We'll get you a response to a letter, and we can. I don't know. I don't know. If you
well, our addresses are on there.
Your addresses are, and we can sit down and talk about this.
Okay, great.
I hope to get you the response.
We boast about Canada, whether it's about healthcare, whether it's about workers' rights, whether it's about international affairs, including Iraq, the contrast. And here, we can't boast anymore. It's really wrong. And the government needs to take a look at this, because this will continue around the world. We are not going to let 5,500 people perish. We will raise this up around the world. This is only the beginning, but we'd much rather be saying Canada holds up the beacon of freedom and human rights, and that's where Canada should be. And that's what we believe in our hearts that Canada has represented.
Okay, remind me the names. Did you get cards?
No.
Okay, but everything's
It's all on the
okay,
side.
okay, good. All right.
Linda Foley, Larry Cohen,
Larry.
and of course Johnson.
John, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.